I'm going to read The Adventure of the Huckleberry Chapter 3. Well, I got a good going over in the morning from Miss Watson on account of the microdose at the widow she didn't scold, but only three notice, glee and play. I looked so sorry that I thought I would behave the one if I could. Then Miss Watson, she took me in the closet and prayed, but nothing's come of it. She told me to fly every day, and whatever I asked of her, I would get it. But it wasn't so. I tried. Once I got a fish line, flattened of hooks, it warned and good to me that without hooks. I tried to follow hooks the 3 or 4 times, but somehow I couldn't make it work. By and by, one day, I asked Miss Watson to try it for me, but she said I was a fool. She never told me why, and then I couldn't make it out no way. I sat down times back in the woods and I had a long think about it. I said to myself, if a body can get anything they pray for, why don't Dick and Win get back the money they lost on the work? Why can't the widows get back her silver snuffles that were stolen? Why can't the Miss Watsons do that up? No, sir, that hurt my service. There ain't nothing. I went and told the widows about it, and she said that the thing of God is could get by the friend, for it was a spiritual gift. This was too many for me, but she told me what she meant. I must have other people, do everything I could for other people, and look out for them all the time. Never think about myself. This was including Mr. Watson. As I took it, I went out in the woods and turned it over in my mind a long time. But I couldn't see no advantage about it except for the other people, so at last I reckoned I would know about it then. But just let it go sometimes. The widow would take me one side and talk about Providence in a way to make everybody's mouth water. But maybe next day Miss Watson would take it off and knock it all down again. I could see that there were two Providence. And a poor chap to stand controversial with those Providence. But if Miss Watson got in there to want no house for him anymore, I thought it all out. And like Hunt, I would belong to the widows if he wanted me to. Though I can make out how he was going to be any better off than what it was before seeing I was so ignorant and so kind of low down and honored. How he hadn't been since for more than a year, and that was comfortable for me. I didn't want to see him no more to use always around me. When he was so poor and could get his hands on me, and thought I used to take to the woods, and most of the time when he was around, well, about this time he was found in the river down ground, and about 30 miles about town. So people said, well, they judged it was him anyway. He said this drowned man was just his size, and it was late and had some comment along him. Which was like them. But they couldn't make nothing out of the face, because it had been in the water so long it wasn't like the face at all. They said it was floating on his back in the waters. They took him and buried him on the bank. But I wasn't comfortable long because I happened to think of something I knew might well that a drowned man don't float on his back. But when his face, so I known and then that this wasn't a path. But a woman dressed up in a man's clothes, so I was uncomfortable again. I just the old man would turn off again by and by, though I wish that you wouldn't. We played a lot now and then about a month, and then I resigned. So all the boys did is that we hadn't allowed and nobody hadn't killed any people, but only just the pretended that we used to hop out of the woods and go charging down with the whole drivers and women in cart taking out and stuff to market, but we never hired any of them. So Tom Sawyer called the whole ignored any coal, the turnips and the stuff to dry. And when I would go to the cave and follow what we had done, and how many people we had killed and marked, and but I couldn't see no profit in it. One time, Tom sent a boy to run about town with the rest of Livingston which he called the slogans, to which was assigned for a gang to get together, and then decided they had those secrets news by spies that the next day the whole parcels of Spanish merchants and rich raps was going to camp in Cape Hall with 200 elephants and 600 camels and over 1,000 sumpters mules and all loaded down with his diamond, and they didn't have only a guard at the 400 soldiers, so would lay in ambuscade, as he called it, and kill, loot, and scoop things he out of the most strict up of our sword and guns and get ready. He never could go after Stephen O'Connor's the court, but he must have the sword and guns and all scored up for it, though. There were only left with broomsticks, and you must go at them until you rot it, and then they won, and was a mouthful and of ashes more than what they were before. I didn't believe we could lick such a crowd of Spaniards and laps, but I want to see the camels and elephants, so I was on hand next day, Saturday, in the ambuscade. And when we got the word, we rushed out of the woods and down the hills, but there weren't no Spaniard and laps, and there wasn't no cameras, no the elephants. It was once anything but a Sunday school's picnic and on with a primer corset, and we busted it up and chased the children up the halls. But we never got anything but some donuts and jam. Though when we just got a leg doll and Joe Harper's they got a hymn book and a tract. And then the teacher charged in and made us drop everything and cut. I didn't see no diamonds, and I told Tom Sawyer so. He said, and there was loads of them there. Anyway, and he said there was labs and bears and elephants and things. I said, why couldn't we see them? Then he said, if I want, so you want, but had a lot of good cold, don't you say? I would not without asking. He said it was all done by enchantment. He said there were thousands of hundreds of soldiers there and elephants and treasures and so on, but we had enemies which he called the magicians, that they had turned the whole thing into an infant Sunday school just out of spite. I said, all right, then the thing for us to do was to go for the magician. Tom Sawyer said I was a numbskull. Why? Said he, the magician could call up a lot of genies, and they would have you up to like nothing before you could say Jack Robinson. They are as far as a tree, as big around as a church. Well, I suppose we got some genius to help us. Can we look at the other crowd then? How are you going to get them? I don't know how today and get them. Why they rubbed an old lamb on iron rings and then the genius comes cheering and with the thunder and lightning is leaping around and the smoke rolling and everything they are told to do, they ought to do it, and they don't think nothing of the fooling us shot towers that the Bible roots and the melting Sunday schools superintendent over the head with it, or any other man. We make them till around the souls. And why? Whoever loves the lamp of the lings, and they belong to whoever loves the lamp of the ling, and they've got to do whatever he says. If he tells them to build a palace 40 miles long out of the diamond and fill the tool of its chewing gum, and or whatever you want, and especially empower daughters from the China for you to marry. They've got to do it, and they've got to do it before sun up to next morning too. And more, they've got to watch about the palace around the top of the countries and wherever you want it. You understand? Well, that I think they are a pack of the flat heads for not keeping the palaces themselves studied, but fooling them away like that. And what's more, if I was one of them, I would see a man in Jericho, and because I dropped my greetings and come to him, for loving over all teen land. How you talk, Prince? Why, you have to come when he loved it, whether you wanted it or not. What? And I have hired the trees in a big old church? All right then. How it comes to Bali, I had to make that man climb the highest trees there was in the country. Huck, it ain't no use to talk to you, Huckin. You don't seem to know anything somehow to perfect the chef had. I thought was for 2 or 3 days, and then I went out to see if there was anything in it, and I got an old tin lamp and an iron sling and went out in the woods and lovely chicks eyes wet like an engine, calculating to view the palace and the turret. But it wasn't, and to no use, just none of the genius comes. So then I judged that all that stuff was on just one of Tom Sawyer's lies. I reckoned he believed in the ale, bread, and elephants, but as for me, I think different. It had all the marks of a Sunday schools. Very fun. Yeah, Tom Sawyer it was very, very playful boy.